still thirsty. December 16th. I mentioned that I signed up for the other class. I signed up for the North Node class, and I got triggered. I got triggered because I was looking at my North Node, and I mean, I know more or less the energy and the house clearly for me is, because for everybody it'll be a little different. And so couple things I got triggered. So mine is North Node's in the 10th house, which means I'm here to embrace taking charge of my career and being bold in bringing innovation and energy to the work that I do in the world, which means I need to let go of staying in the home, focusing on nesting. Like, that's not what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to focus on my career. Which makes a lot of sense in terms of the inner conflict that I had with being like a stay-at-home mom, and why I struggled with that. I'm supposed to let go of being home the home. And of course, society expectations. And then being from Mexican background, you know, there's this strong emphasis in roles. So there's that. So I mentioned that I was snooping with people from my past, and because I have their information, or I remember their information, and really it's for me to understand, like, maybe what went wrong, or not that anything went wrong, everything unfolded exactly as it needed to, but just you know, that awareness of moving forward, how this information can be helpful with one, a person getting to know themselves, but also when you're getting to know someone else, right? And just what their purpose is, right? And when you're going into this relationship, right, or this connection, and to be able to honor that, right? If you're both whole and complete with embracing your purpose and the energy that you're supposed to work through, and the life lessons, right? And being aware of what that is for you, and that the other person has that same awareness of themselves and then of each other with this relationship. the chances it's gonna help, right? And so I uh so first, sorry, the person from my past, where his north node is the exact opposite of mine, in terms of the house. It's in the 4th house instead of the 10th. And it's also in Leo. And the energy they're supposed to embrace or is to focus more on nurturing your family, creating a warm and lovely nest that supports yourself and others. And let go of trying to be a corporate CEO or innovator in the business world. So they're being challenged to focus on nurturing. And I got triggered by that because it reminded me of my ex. There was a time period. I mentioned that I was the primary breadwinner for most of our marriage. I think maybe in the beginning when I was still in school finishing up, I was working on other jobs, but he was helping me the last year for my graduate degree, but other than that, it was me. I was the primary breadwinner. And I think for the most part, primary in the sense that I made more, even though both of us worked. And it wasn't until we moved to the high desert when he was supposedly gonna go and finish and focus on school. And I say supposedly because, that's what happens supposedly when plans don't follow through. And I remember when he was at home, I liked that he was at home. Like, there was something about liking that he was at home, even though he was busy doing. There was just something about the role shift that I liked. The nurturing side that was coming out of him, even though it wasn't a lot, it was enough for me to be aware that I liked it. I liked it that I was able to come home and that he was there. The thing was that it was still very much not balanced because there wasn't so much of an emotional nurturance. There wasn't a lot of emotional nurturing. Like, I remember there was still an element that it was nice that he was physically home, but a lot of the other tasks, not a lot of the, like cooking, I still did a lot of the cooking, mostly because he ate different foods. Like, I tended to eat more healthy than he did, and so I wanted to make sure I stayed healthy as best as I could. But like, even emotionally nurturing, it would be hard now I think about it when I was hurting. Just, even though his hugs were comforting, there was this rigidity. Like, it was just the embrace. The embrace was just not very nurturing. So just, it was triggering at me. And then I looked at his birth chart, and his north node is in the 1st house. And so he was supposed to focus on himself. He's supposed to focus on himself, my ex, he's supposed to focus on himself and his place in the world and making himself happy and content. And he was supposed to let go of trying to focus all of his energy on other people and making them happy or content. So he's being challenged to give up people pleasing and too much giving. Which is funny because I think about it. And there was more, I think, more of the people pleasing. But in terms of giving, for whatever reason, it still felt unbalanced. Where I felt like I gave too much. I was taking on too many of the responsibilities. So I think I'm just... I was just triggered by that. That memory, I liked it when he was home and when there was that taste of him being, and then we even considered the possibility of him being the stay-at-home dad. But there was an interest, I think that was the hardest part, is every time I tried to breathe life into him. That was the thing. I tried to breathe life into him. And it was just... didn't matter what I did. Didn't matter what I said. It was like... nothing worked. I always felt like I was at a loss. So it's funny that that's what it says that he needs to focus on, because I'm just like, and then it sucks because it's just like, well, I didn't feel like he really focused all of his energy on me. He really didn't feel that way. It's funny that that's what it says that he's supposed to let go of, but I think he focused too much on himself in the sense of making himself happy and content. And that he gave, that's why he was being challenged to give up not giving too much, which it happened in our relationship. That's why I overgave. And that was one of my fears about having children with him, was because I'm just like, if I'm already overgiving, trying to hold too many hats, right? Trying to bring in money, income, the sense of stability, and then also monitor the home. It was unbalanced. I'm like, I'm gonna drive myself crazy if I have to also manage the kids. Yeah, I remember thinking that and fearing that I me iba a cansar. That in the idea of not giving 100% of myself to what I was supposed to do, it was hard to imagine being able to do that with kids. That's crazy. Anyways, I just had that realization and just that trigger. This is helpful. It's helpful. And hopefully I can and just even reading it with some of my clients that I've been trying to work with them on their North Node to shed a little bit of light, this can be helpful in working with them a lot, for sure. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this awareness. For myself, and understanding, that why I needed to let go of being in the home, because that's not my role. I'm not supposed to be in the home. I'm supposed to focus on work. Only that the work that I was focusing on before, I wasn't embracing the innovation part. It was this redundancy in the work that I was doing. So, anyways, just wanted to speak to that awareness. I need to go put my soup away. It's 10 and finish up these notes and keep trucking along, I guess. Good night. Bye. Hi, my name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us, in whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth. This just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we felt we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me.